when I look back on 2023, it was an amazing, really exciting year. Was a truly amazing year, not only with business, but also just personal life and goals and all the things that I wanted to achieve, and how so many things manifested into amazing, amazing things. And I always like to make these videos to talk about some of the highs and the lows of the year, but also to share with you guys a super honest and real look into what I actually make as a designer, because I know that choosing what to do with your life and your career is a big decision. And I think a lot of times it comes down to what's going to support me financially. That can be the deciding factor with making that decision. So I wanted to share with you guys today, and first start off by talking about the highs and the lows of the year. I was going to prepare like a whole fact sheet and have all the actual things I talked about and that I wanted to achieve, but I just want to have a genuine chat with you all about the things that I am really excited about when I look back on 2023, and some of the things I probably would have done a little differently. So 2023, the first thing that pops in my head is this was the first year that I started to offer website in a week services, and I was really afraid to offer this because I didn't want it to devalue I didn't want it to devalue what it is that I'm offering. Since it's such a quick turnaround, I didn't want people to think like they're not going to get as much. But I just found that through my client conversations and through the discovery calls that a lot of times my clients would come to me and want their website done like within the next month or two. And having those 4 to 6 week long website design projects, it was cutting into other projects, and I just felt like I wouldn't be able to turn it around as quick as they needed it. And also, when I had those long website projects, it didn't go very well. I work well under pressure. I work well having dates tied to when things are due, and I think clients work that way as well. And I think just having the option and the opportunity for them to respond back to things whenever it was convenient to them was dragging projects out way longer than they needed to be. And that was really affecting my timeline and my schedule. As when I approach my clients and I tell them that we're going to have Monday through Friday, nothing else but your project to dedicate our time to, focus on, and even if it's 10 to 12 hours days, we will walk away at the end of this week with a product and a website that you can use. And I think having that timeline just helped so much with my clients not feeling like they are dragging things out. So I really, really am happy that I started to offer that. And that is a really, really big factor into why I was able to reach a 6-figure income again. If I didn't have website in a week, I don't think I would have been able to reach that, because I wouldn't have been able to take on as much as I did this last year. Which brings me into one of my things that I probably would have changed looking back on this year. I feel like I say this every year, but there was, I would say, way less amount of times that I felt burnt out, but there definitely was still some moments of feeling like I just needed a breath of fresh air, meaning I needed less on my plate. But I've kind of just come to the realization that I work well when I have a lot going on, and I don't work well when I have nothing going on. It's like a catch-22, because when I have a lot going on, I'm like, oh my God, why do I do this to myself? And then when I don't have anything going on, or if I only have like one client, I'm like, I need more. So I've been really trying to work on myself in that to slow down a little bit in life. But when I look back on 2023, I do feel like there was some months where I was barely surviving in terms of like my mental sanity, and feeling like I didn't really have a lot of time to like just breathe. I feel like moving forward in 2024, it's going to be very, very different. However, I do feel like I have, and I'm excited to look back on this one day, but I do feel like I have another year in me to grind it out. And I feel like when I said that to my boyfriend the other day, I was like, part of me wants to go into 2024 and just like stop taking, I wanted to take just one client per month, which I still really want to do. But I do feel like there might be some months where I get a lot of inquiries and a lot of exciting projects and opportunities, and I still feel like I have energy in me to do that and like make it happen. And I think for a long time I used to question myself on like, I see other people taking on only a small amount of clients, I shouldn't take on very much. But everyone's so different. Whatever you can handle, and if you can still give your clients a really high quality and great package, then I don't think there's anything wrong with just grinding it out for a few months and getting the work done, taking on the projects and the clients, as long as you feel that you can handle it with your timeline. So I really do feel like 2024, I'm going to have to take less, because I am launching new branches of my business that are going to require a lot more of my time. That's kind of where I'm at with the client side of things. But when I also look back on 2023, I really tried to not put a lot of pressure on myself to launch a ton of courses. I feel like in 2022, when I first took my business full-time, I dedicated a lot of time to launch a course every single quarter of the year, and I wanted to do the same thing in 2023, but I'm really glad that I didn't. I feel like that was something I thought I'd be disappointed in myself for, but I'd way rather focus on the quality of the courses and also make the updates to my existing courses before I jump into creating like a ton more. I feel like I'm trying to focus more on quality over quantity, and I'm really proud of myself for thinking that way and not stressing myself out about making all these educational resources, because my YouTube channel is a place that I want people to go to learn things, and I just took that pressure off myself to make all the courses all the time. I would say when it comes to like the passive income side of like the education tools that I was putting out, but I'm really proud of what I did put out. And if you are part of the Dipsato course, or if you bought any of my courses this last year, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. And I've decided to take the next 3 to 4 weeks to make the updates needed on all the courses that are existing, because there's a lot of things that I've changed and updated in my process, and I want to share that with you all. So that's what I'll be working on. I just feel like it was a great year in terms of knowing my limits, knowing how much I can handle, and not beating myself up if I don't hit a goal or reach a goal, because I was really making sure that I and still like feeling okay. Like I'm not mentally burnt out all the time. And I feel like this last year was the first time I was way more mindful about that and actually made the decisions to not make that happen. So I've gotten this question quite a few times. What is the biggest factor and reason into how I was able to reach 6 figures in my first year in business? And I'm excited to say that I've reached it again in my second year in business. And I get the question, what part of your business is helping you reach that goal? There's a lot of things that help me reach that goal, but I will say that there's a few things that were a huge factor into why I was able to reach my income goals and even exceed them in a way. So number 1 is passive income streams. I do not make money just from one part of my life. I make money through services that I provide my clients, but I also make money through the educational platforms that I've built. I do make a little bit of an income with YouTube, not a lot, but enough for like personal expenses. And I also make an income through our tools that I have online that you purchase, like my contract or my graphic design price estimator, things like that. But there was a new branch of how I was able to make an income this year, and that was collaborations. So this was the first year that I had really, really exciting brands reach out to me about collaborating and making videos for an actual price. I feel like I never knew how that really worked, but it was really exciting when I was able to get like an email from Adobe and really awesome tools and platforms that were willing to pay me to talk about it online. And I'm very, very glad that I do not have all of my eggs in one basket, because I want to make sure that who I'm collaborating with is actually helpful to you all. And I don't want to have to say yes to all of those just to make an income. I'm able to say no to a lot of them because I'm not relying on that. So passive income is a huge reason why I'm able to reach 6 figures. But the other reason is because of Website in a Week. I know I've been talking about this a lot, but I was able to take on sometimes 3 website projects in a month, which my Website in a Week projects typically start around $4,000 now. So you can do the math. It was a really exciting, successful months when that happened. And that helped me reach my income goals really quickly. And I don't want to sit here and say that you should all go do that. I feel like because I've been working on websites for a long, long time, I know what it takes to make that week run smoothly, what it takes to make that possible. And it's not easy. This last week, it's probably why I seem a little tired. I had 12-hour work days last week because I was working on a website in a week and making it live for my client. And next year in 2024, I will be increasing my prices with Website in a Week because I've realized that with quick turnarounds, you can definitely up the pricing, and I want to make that possible. So I would say those are the main reasons I was able to make 6 figures this year. But it's not always about that. It's also about feeling proud of what I put out there and making connections with really awesome clients and feeling like whatever it is that I'm selling is actually valuable. And that was really where my attention and focus went into. Okay, so you guys are probably wondering, because I feel like in the last couple of videos that I've made like this, I would give you actual numbers of what it is that I made this year. I don't really want to share actual numbers this year, but I will give you a rundown on what the price difference or profit difference is between branding and website, because it's pretty drastic. And I was shocked myself when I saw this. And I also want to share with you all where my money goes, because I think that's more important than the actual income. So I want to share with you what I have to pay for in my business, and also what it is I'm saving. Okay, so website design. I would say that typically in 2023, my websites, like I mentioned, started at $4,000. Occasionally, I would make it $5,000 if it was an e-commerce website. It all depended on my clients' needs and everything like that. Branding, I did have a few branding projects around $1,500, which is much lower than I wanted to charge, but typically those start at $2,000 and go up to $2,500. And I would say that surprisingly, I did have a lot of clients that did branding and web, but my Website in a Week's just flew off the shelf. So I'm going to share with you guys those numbers because I think you'll find it interesting. My Website in a Week brought in, and I had a few website projects that were a normal timeline, but that brought in between $50,000 to $60,000, which is pretty much the bulk of my income service-wise. Branding project-wise, this brought in much less, but I can see why, because I didn't take on as many branding clients, and also it's not as expensive it's not as much as an investment as the website project is. So branding, it brought in it was like between 10 to 20,000. So I'm going to give you guys range of numbers to kind of like protect my privacy, because I feel weird sharing like exact numbers, but it was between that. So quite a big difference from branding to website. And then of course we have little things in between, like I had video editing randomly, and I also had some uncategorized clients, which was my fault, but kind of a lot uncategorized. So these aren't super accurate, which is another reason I didn't want to share like exact numbers. I don't want to give you guys like false information, but from what I did categorize, those were the range of numbers within those different services. So pretty amazing. And yeah, I feel like that was eye-opening to me, how powerful like a quick turnaround service can be, and also just like how powerful marketing that service can be, and like making content around it and all that. So it was really powerful. So I know I wanted to talk about where my money is going now, what I have to pay for, and what I have to do to keep this business like running smoothly. And there are quite a few things within my, if we were to say profit versus loss, in the loss area. But I don't really view it as a loss. I feel like these are just investing back into the business. But I do want to share with you like where the money goes. So first things first, this was the first year in the last quarter of the year that I brought on a social media manager. This was something I really wanted to do to take a weight off my back of feeling like I constantly have to share my life on Instagram. So she manages my Instagram, and it definitely is an investment, but I saw huge success from doing this. And that was eye-opening to me on how important consistency is, and she allowed that to happen for me. So we have my social media manager. I also have a Canva subscription, which might be surprising to some of you, but I do like to use Canva for quick social media graphics, and also just like quick, it's so easy for like quick templates or quick graphics that I need to make, and like also putting together brand guides can be really nice on Canva. So that helped me a lot with timing. So Canva, I do pay for that. I also have a Loom subscription, which is what I use to like record my videos and do all that like online recording. And then I have a Google subscription for my email address, which is around like $12. I think I pay like $20 now. I need to update that because I have two different email addresses, one for collaborations and one for like clients. And then I also pay for 2 terabytes of storage within Google, which is $3, not too bad. And then I have a QuickBooks account, which is $30 per month. I have a Shopify account, which is $9 per month. I have my internet for the house, which is around $70 per month. I have a Flowdesk account, which is about $38 per month, which is where I do my email marketing. I have my health insurance, which if you guys want me to make a video on like how that all works, let me know. But that is a big chunk of money. It's like $228 per month. And then I have my developer who helps me a lot with projects. I pay him like, depending on the amount of work, sometimes $40, sometimes $200. It really depends on the project. Then I have Epidemic Sounds, which is the music I use on YouTube. That is $15 a month. And I also pay for YouTube Premium because when we travel, I like to be able to download videos. So that is, they just increased it to like $18 per month. So those are a lot of the expenses just for my business. That's not even including my personal. So if we're looking at just business expenses, we're close to $1,700, $1,800 per month, around there. And then when it comes to my personal expenses, those are things like coffee and if I'm not getting my nails done anymore, but coffee, those kind of things, like my Leo's pet insurance, gas, food, all that is around like $1,000 per month. So that really depends on like if I'm treating myself or not, but I would say like on a good month, like $400 per month up to $1,000. So yeah, when you really look at it, I would need to be making like $4,000 to $5,000 per month to live really comfortably, which luckily I was able to make that happen. But I do want to make sure that I share this with you guys because it's not like I'm pocketing those 6 figures. Like, it goes into things in the business, and able to hire like social media managers and have my developer help me, and it just opens up the doors for like more opportunities. So that is the exciting thing about it. Also, I didn't even mention the yearly business expenses, which is like Dubsado, my hosting account for my website, my course account, which is where I host everything, and Adobe, which yearly is around $1,800. So yeah, it definitely can add up. But I wanted to share that with you guys, because if you're starting out and you're like, what does it really take to like run a business? Some of these things aren't totally necessary for someone just starting out. So yeah, I just wanted to share that though. All right, you guys. So I'm really, really excited and proud of how 2023 went. I'm so excited for 2024, and I'm excited to continue setting goals, and also just being a little easier with myself and not feeling like I have to reach everything, because I feel like we can get sucked into that feeling of like, I'm not doing enough. But you're doing enough, trust me. Don't get too stressed or hung up on trying to get everything done and perfect and all that. Just start, and the success will follow. Thank you all for all of your support. I really, really appreciate you, and I'm so excited for next year. But I hope you guys have a happy new year, and that you had a great holiday. And yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this inspired you or helped you. But let me know if it did by subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and I'll see you in my next one.